Imagine I give you this sales dataset which contain almost 50 rows and 6 to 7 columns, and I ask you 3 simple questions, which is which product generate the most sale, which region generate the most revenue, and how much did each salesperson sell. Sounds really easy. You can get the answer through using formulas in Excel. You can answer your first question using summary formula. You just have to find the unique product from this product column, and then you could use summary formula to find out which product generate the most sale. But the thing is, you will have to use other formulas for the second question. Then the same goes with the third question. You will have to find out the answer for the third question through some other formula, which we do not want it to do, because you see there are some similarities between the first question and the last question, third questions. So that's why we are trying to, why to bother with formulas if you have got some quicker way to find out the answer of all these 3 questions or even more in simple clicks in Excel. This established the need for the pivot table. I am talking about pivot table, which is going to answer all these 3 questions and even more questions quite easily. So let's have a look at a sample question. We are going to find out the answer for the first question, and then we'll break down everything in details. We'll try to understand everything, every area of pivot table. Why do we need that? What is the requirement? In what situation we need to use these formulas? Let's dive into it. Click anywhere into your table. Click on insert, and then you'll have this pivot table option. Click on the pivot table from a table range. Now you have to see, you have got this pop-up here. You have to select a table range. So our table starts from here. You just have to press Ctrl Shift right arrow to select the entire row columns, and then Ctrl Shift down arrow to select basically entire rows. Okay, and we wanted this pivot table in the next sheet. That's why we are not changing this new sheet value, and press OK. As soon as you press OK, you have got this new worksheet where you have got this columns. We have got the 4 areas which we are going to dive deeper into each of them: filter, column, values, and rows. So now we are not looking at it at first. We'll try to answer our first question so that we could find out whether it's simple or not, whether you have to stick with this video or you could use your formula. Let's see. So what we wanted to calculate for the product. So we'll drag product into rows section. Don't worry about it. Just look at the answer as of now. Let's zoom it. Then we are interested in calculating the total sale for this product. So we'll drag it to value section, and as soon as I press those values, you see we have got this table where we have this all the products with their total sales. So by looking at this picture, we could say that the laptop had the most sale, even though we haven't sorted this table yet. This is not automatically sorted. It is just a coincidence that we get the table in the sorted way. Not in a sorted way, we get the value at the top which we wanted to look for, but we could even sort this table. We just have to right click on the table and sort it. Come over here and sort from largest to smallest. So here we have sorted our table from largest to smallest, and we see, especially over here, you have sorted your table. Okay, so now you got the answer that your answer was laptop. Laptop is the product which has the most sales as of now. So we answered the first question quite easily. Let's have a look. Why did we, a lot of people might think, why did we put product in the row section and sales in the value section? Because let's say we do not want this at this point of time. First, we need to answer some questions. What do I want to see in my report? I wanted to see the sales for each product. So that's the reason why I'm dragging product into row section. But some of you might ask, why in the row section? Why not in the column? Why not in the filter? Why not in the value area? Okay, that's a good question. So row says what I wanted to see. I wanted to see product, and that's why I kept product in the row section. Now I need to answer the second question to what do I wanted to calculate. To whatever we are trying to calculate, every calculation, we perform calculation in pivot table under values area. Okay. In the value area itself, we perform all the calculation. So that's why we will drag cells in the value section, because we wanted to calculate total sale. Let's say sometime we might need to calculate sum, we might need to calculate count of the columns on a specific region, we might need to calculate minimum, maximum, all these calculations. So whatever calculation we wanted to calculate, we need to use that calculation in the value area, and that's why we are dragging values in the value, we are dragging cells in the values area. So we just drag cells into the value area and see we have got the result, and click anywhere, right click anywhere in your table, come to sort, then sort largest to smallest, and we get the answer for the first question. What if I don't wanted to see total sales for each product? What if I am interested in finding out, what if I don't wanted to calculate the total sales? I'm not interested in the total sales, but I am interested in calculating or comparing this product across different regions. How do I do that? So here we are trying to compare these products on the basis of sales, of course, and that's why we need to keep the sales in the value section, because we need some parameters to compare, but we wanted to compare these products across different regions. So how do we do that? We have to drag region into column. Now you might ask a simple question to me, why the region in the column area? Why didn't we drag it into the rows? So this is how the data will be presented. But why in the column? Because whenever you have a situation when you wanted to compare data side by side, or you wanted to split a data into different categories, that's where we need to use column area. That's where column area comes into the picture. So what rows say? Rows say what do you want to see, values say what do you wanted to calculate, and the third area, column says what do you wanted to compare, which data you wanted to split, on what basis you wanted to split your data into different categories side by side so that you could compare, and that's where we use columns. So once we do that, we see for every product we have got this east, north, south, west. Okay, so we have got the comparison across different regions, but also we have also got this grand total value which we do not wanted. So we wanted to get rid of these grand values from this top and bottom, because we are not interested in these values. We are only interested in the comparison of all this product across different regions. So we wanted to get rid of these values. How do we do that? It's simple. Click on design, go to grand totals. You see at the top of for rows and columns, you just have to click over there, and as soon as you click over there, you got your answer. You got the products with different regions. So this is how you can compare your data quite easily. Now imagine my manager say I don't wanted to see all the regions, show me the only north region. I'm interested in only north region. So how do you do that? Here at this point of time, we have got the data from different regions, all the regions. We have data from east, we have data from north, south, west, but no, we are not interested in calculating or finding out the data across every region. The manager is only interested in the north region. So you wanted the answer this only for the products. How do you do that? So that's where filter area comes into the picture. As the name suggests, filter is used to filter out an area. Filter assume the question, ask you the question, which part of my table do I want to see? I'm not interested in calculating for all the regions. I'm only interested in the north region. So here I'm interested in the north region, north part. So that's where filter comes into the picture. And now according to our question, we are going to drag region into the filter. So we just have to drag region into the filter, and as soon as you drag that, if you have a look at it, you see at the top you get these values, you get this region, and here you've got the sales. But as of now, you see, if you look closely, you see it is selected all, but I'm not interested in all the regions. I'm only interested in the north region. So what you have to do, you have to click over here, and that's where you get the filter values. So as soon as you click over there, you get this value, east, west, north, south. If you wanted to if you wanted the value only for the north, you can click here. If you wanted from east, you can click here, or you wanted multiple values. In that case, you have to check in this box, and then you will get the option to basically select multiple items at once. Let's see how to do that. So my manager was only interested in the north region, so I'll have to click over here, click north, press OK. And as soon as you press OK, you see for the north region we got the sales. We got the sales for the north region. Now I'm interested in north and east region. So how do we do that? We'll have to come over here, filter, and then we wanted to calculate for the multiple items. So we'll have to check in the box, and then we got this checkbox symbol. We are interested in east and north region, and as soon as we click that, press OK, and we got for the multiple items for north and east region, we got the sales for the north and east regions. Once you understand the 4 areas, pivot table become much more easier. The only thing is, this is what we have in the pivot table. A lot of people, I myself used to fear from pivot table, okay, run away from pivot table, because I used to think that it's kind of something complicated thing, but it's not. It is just this thing. You've got the 4 regions, and then you've got this all the columns over here, okay. You've got the columns, you've got the regions. The area which is the area you must be interested in, the filter, column, values, rows. Once you have got the clear idea of all these values, so let's dive into it and try to summarize what we have learned so far. So filter asks you which part of my data I wanted to see. Which part of data you wanted to see? That's picture. That's filter. Next comes columns. Columns say what you wanted to compare. You wanted to compare your data on what basis? That's what comes into the column section. The rows, what do you want to say? Simple. What do you want to say comes into the row section. And for the values, everything you wanted to calculate comes into the value section. Okay. It reminds me of one thing. Let's say we got the values over here, but I was interested in the count. What if I wanted to? I'm not interested in some values. I'm interested in minimum, maximum, count. So how do we do that? Okay. So let's have a look at that as well. So you just have to click over here. You see a little icon over here. Click over there. Click on the filled value settings. So here we have filled value setting. As of now, you see we have it is selected as sum. Now we have got the other values: count, average, mean, max, product. We are interested in the count value, so we'll just have to click count and press OK, and we got the count for all these products. Okay, let's say we are not interested in count, so we are interested in the maximum values. Just have to come over here, go to value field settings, and we wanted to calculate the maximum. Press OK. As soon as you press OK, the maximum sales for the laptop, the maximum sales for the monitor, so on and so forth. Okay, we got the same value from the pivot table analyze as well. Once you come over here, you see this field settings. This is where you get the same settings. Okay, you just have to click on your pivot table analyze, go to field settings, and you got again the same field settings: count, sum, average, mean, max, and lot more things. You just have to dive deeper into it and explore these things. Try to practice with questions. So I'm going to give you 3 questions which you need to practice. Which product generated the most sale? How much did each salesperson sell? Which region performed best for each product?